everybody. I hope you're all doing well. I'm going to be channeling Nikola Tesla today. I'm going to relax and I'm going to ask him if there's anything that you could share with the human race. As a human race is in the present, what would be something you would want all of us to know or be aware of? And what recommendations, suggestions do you have for us? Is there any healing you want to share with us? Any messages at all? And so we'll see what he has to say. So I'm going to relax and let's see what comes up. Okay. Right now, the experience is silent. It's that kind of silence where you don't want to make a sound because you don't want to disrupt it. Almost like if you disrupted the silence, it would be rude. And so even to tell you this, I feel like I'm talking a little bit too loud, like I'm talking in church. And I need to be quiet. So that's the first thing. He asked me what it is that I hear when I'm silent. What is it that I hear? He says, when you're silent, you will be able to listen. You will be able to hear more clearly. You will be able to pay attention. You will be able to receive. He says, it's important to be silent at church, that you can receive meaning, your soul's meaning, the meaning of the human race, the right and the wrong, the meaning of God. And he says, life is like this. So he shows me we're not in church, but we are in a place just as sacred. We are in the earth. And we are silent. We will be able to hear what the earth is telling us. And when we speak, we will miss out on what the earth is saying because we won't be able to hear it. This is really important to him. So I'm going to experience myself, going to silence myself and close my eyes, and I'm going to listen. The scene is changing. I feel like I'm at church, but it's just me, maybe a few other people. And I've lit some candles. And I shared a donation. I'm sitting in the pew and my heart is rancid with longing. Silent. I am silent, but my heart is loud, rancid with longing. I feel that there's earthworms that are eating away at the soil in my heart. And you can't remove these worms, and you can't... It's almost like the worms are consuming everything that's left of you. And once it's all gone, once there's nothing left of you, all that remains are the worms that consumed you. The worms have you, but you don't get to exist as yourself. You exist through the worms that consumed you, which puts you into a state of rest, a state of dormancy. And he prays that he is not consumed. But it's more than that. Because it feels like these worms represent people. Manipulative, or selfish, or greedy, louder, more influential, consuming perhaps his dream, his vision, but not to duplicate it other than to put it into dormancy, to put him to sleep. So the worms are all that you see. The worms are all that you have access to. But this also feels like his heart, something of a longing in his heart that is unfulfilled. And it is eaten away. His heart, his love, his soul. And so he must live a lifetime with suffering in his heart. But he prays about this. And prayer is silent. It is an expression of your senses. It is an expression of your most genuine, deepest emotions. It's not the words that define them, it's the feelings. It's prayer for help. What's interesting is he's showing me myself, and I too have deep emotions, and I reflect on my feelings. And I do acknowledge that when we get lost in our emotions, we aren't being fruitful. There is time to explore them. There's time to sit with them. There's a time to acknowledge them. They're people too. Their emotions deserve to be heard. They're people too. We're not robots. But when we focus on building something, we focus our energies into the creative energy, the work that we do that brings life force to us. It's not as if we're saying no to what challenges our feelings, or we're blocking them out or ignoring them. But we are honoring our life path, our life work. And it's important that we honor our life work. If you are letting your emotions get in the way of your life work, you will not be able to do your life work, because your life work will be invested in the breakdown of yourself. He does show me the value of prayer. He does show me the value of feeling a sensation of a higher power that deeply understands you, that you are doing God's work, that you could give a little. It's like I hear the coins entering into a jar and the lighting of a candle. And the sacredness of the church becomes the sacredness of our earth. And the holiness of ourselves, our human forms, our gifts, our emotions. We know that Nikola Tesla did extraordinary things. Extraordinary man. He put his hands to work. He put his mind to work. So even if there were earthworms eating away at him, he still was dedicated to his life's work. And that's important. That is a very important thing that you remember. You are here to do your life's work and do it with God. Do it with goodness. Do it with Christ consciousness. There's really a sensation of the hell and the heaven, the devil and the angel. Listen to the angel and don't fall short of your own light. Don't take the easy way out. Persevere with the light. It's almost like you know what God is asking of you. And as you do as God is asking of you, you will feel things. Send your prayers to God to help you remain strong. And God is with you. I touch Nikola Tesla's heart and I shake my head and say, no, no, no. As in, I don't want your heart to be full of these earthworms. As in, let's remedy this. Let's remedy this. And he covers his heart and he says, no, this is my memory. This is my memory. And I say, why are you possessive of it? As in, why can't I reach into your memory and we can heal and mend it? Why do you want to hold on to the pain in your heart? I'm going to touch one of these worms here. It's not what you would expect at all. I see a medical facility. I see a human being who's grossly obese, but not in a natural way, in a horrifically unnatural way. I see a concept of experimentation, and I see their bones are disappearing and their arms are, and their skin's growing together, and they are literally turning into what is like a maggot in a bed. A human being transforming into a maggot. Big fat human maggot. And I see very serious faces, very understanding, very logical, very scientific, nodding, we are making progress. There's no face of horror here. It's science. It's science. Science is matter of fact. It doesn't have room for emotion. It has room for saying, there's something wrong with this picture. It doesn't have room for that because it's science. Science is a completely open door for any study of any kind, no matter how concerning, morally right or wrong it is. One of the things he struggles with as a soul looking upon our earth is how science can be manipulated away from God into a zone of morally and ethically wrong pursuits. He says when we lower the bar of our morals and ethics, we will manifest hell on earth. And he shows that there are highly advanced thinkers in the world that don't give in to what their heart is guiding them to explore. Instead, are influenced by power and greed and something of an infection. And the longing of what we want to create is putrid. And he does not stand for those creations at all. Because the creator of something putrid is putrid. And that is one of the worms that eats at him. As he shows me, and I hear this saying, he's rolling in his grave over what he sees in our world. And we had an opportunity for everyone to thrive with Nikola Tesla's inventions, but what got in the way of his success? The worms did. How can he sleep at night? And he shows me his forever rest as a deceased individual, okay? How can he sleep? He cannot sleep. But he does feel violated as a soul with a vision that was of God's light, of God's work, of God's hands through his hands, of something good for everyone to enjoy. He knows what's happening behind closed doors. And he knows what's changing our human race. A violation of morals. And the forgetfulness of what is sacred. And I say, but Nikola, how will you thrive if this is eating you alive? He says that this is an important emotion. That us choosing to just be happy is not the solution. Us choosing to be loud about our disappointments. Us choosing to be honest about the way this feels is what we need to be doing. Because if we just blink our eyes and say that it's not happening, we are enabling the manifestation of hell on earth. We are enabling it by saying, well, I don't want to live in that kind of world, so I'm just going to say that I don't live in that world and that everything is actually fine here and that everybody follows a moral code. Everybody's doing the ethically right thing. I give him a hug and I say thank you for being who you are, and thank you for sharing this message with us today. So what do you guys think about that? I didn't expect that Nikola would have such a deep message, but it's a good one, and it's an honest one, and it's a lot of value to it. Thank you all so much for your time and for being a part of this experience with me. I hope you all have an amazing day.